hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host Iambranded.
And you guys and girls pick it up like I did. I not only got it for Google Play, I had to get it for iTunes as well because, it's just one of those kind of things we got to do to support this young lady. And Maxine Jones is back. My queen.
I love it. Hello!
How you doing?
Oh, my God, I'm so excited. What a crazy great introduction. I'm doing great. Oh, my God.
Before we even talk about you as a solo queen, as a solo artist and celebrating Didn't I, honestly, Max, I'm telling you, like, if you keep blessing me to, like you blessing me with these conversations and interviews and stuff like that, you're going to keep me locked in, and I can't leave. Like, I just can't.
Well,
I have to stick with you.
Oh, please. And I just love, too, that you love EnVouge and that you love the single. I just oh my God, I'm stoked. I've been getting really great reviews for the single, and I mean, I've just been kind of floating all day, and it's really, really cool.
Well, don't be surprised if you stay up there too, though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. I mean, and to me as a fan, and I'm about to put on my fan hat first and tell you how I feel about it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of listeners out there would not only appreciate that, but I mean, it's genuine and it's just coming straight from a fan first. As a fan first, you're always curious to see how you will, come and bring us that God-given talent that we love so much with EnVouge. So you having an opportunity to do it yourself and do it the way that you feel is important for the fans to be able to take a listen to, but also you yourself, for you to be able to give something back to us is definitely appreciated. And the song, I mean, it matches your personality. It's fierce. It's
Aww.
just, it's passionate. It's, storytelling at its best. It's, I try to do the best I can by putting a nice review on iTunes after I purchased it, and I still feel like I need to do it. I need to do it some more justice. So, the more I try, the more I try to hear it and listen to it again. Not only I listen to it, I pay attention. I pay attention to the words and it just kind of it does so much for me as a fan to appreciate you even more so than with EnVouge. And I'm just so proud of you. It's just, and I hope you got my tweet when I tweeted. I was just so proud of you for being able to just, spread your wings solo and do your thing. I am so proud of you.
So wonderful, so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh my God, and seeing that tweet was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I just love that people are loving the single. That's how I feel as a person doing it. And the fans totally uplift me and encourage me, and so that's what I'm getting right now from the single. Really good vibrations. I feel like I put my heart and soul into this project. So just the fact that people can feel that, is really just wonderful. I hope so. I just want to touch people. That's all I want to do is touch them. So, and the only way to do that is through the music.
Amen to that. Got to make sure you throw that out there, though, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen to that. Cool. And look, to me, I always feel like this. I mean, you of course, with your career and everything that you've done, we've talked about it, it's legendary. It's, you could do another song ever and still your music and what you've contributed to the entertainment business will stand the test of time. So, just for you to just continue to just still push on and do something that you have a passion for, I mean, it's got to be commended, but also, with just everything the way that it is with marketing, promoting, fan interactions, I know you're getting all that, is a little bit different than how you first broke in to the business, right? How is all this kind of generated? I know it's like a whirlwind doing 50 million interviews per hour or whatever the case is. It's kind of crazy, huh?
Well, it is, but it's also great, because it's different this time around because I feel like I'm directly in contact with the fans, and so I'm getting the energy, and that's what I'm feeling right now at this second. The song was put out there. The first reactions are just really, really wonderful. People get it, they feel what was in the song and what the intentions were, and so I'm happy about that. I'm feeling that, you know, that energy directly, and it just feels so good, you know. So that's different, you know. That's totally different, you know. I feel like maybe early on the difference would be, you know, the hearing it on the radio for the first time. Well, I guess so. It was organically maybe in the beginning because we would hear it. I remember the first time we heard "Hold On" the radio. I think all of us were in different places, and we called each other. And I think there were call-ins. You know, people would call in, and yes, and people loved it, and that felt good.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. You know, it's kind of the same thing. Put it out there, and the first reactions from people, and I think now the different. No, it's initial. The initial reactions from people downloading it, and hearing it, and posting and saying, "Great." You know, it's just happening in a different way. I guess is what I need to say. Yeah, that's the difference. I mean, there really isn't a difference. You know, in that sense, the reaction.
Right.
But,
and it's kind of a nice vibe, but also at the same time too, it's, you know, you and probably more so than you've done earlier in your career, you get a chance to literally reach out and respond to fan mail in the sense where it's online now as opposed to the letters. Even though I like to, you know, write letters myself and send them off or whatever the case is, this is just the next best thing, right? You get a chance to respond and reply quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally direct throughout the whole process. You know, I think with the record companies involved, you see the numbers after a while, and then you get it. Yeah, people, and then you go out and you do a show, and the people the people are crazy excited, and then you say, "Wow, this is really huge," you know. But getting it direct from the audience, I think I feel like I'm grassroots in this new project. I'm way more direct with the fans, and it's kind of the same thing. You know, it's just a piece of music, a piece of art that's out there, and I'm able to get the reaction from people, maybe more so. I'm almost thinking this time.
And I love you for saying it's a piece of art because you don't need a paintbrush on this one. You just, you know, you have your God-given talent, your creative team, and you know, you kind of make it come to life. And you know, I love the fact that you put that out there because that's the way I always see, you know, any kind of thing that comes out of you to bring out for the world to see or hear or something like that. It's a beautiful thing to be able to witness. So it's kind of like witnessing a new birth in a sense. And the excitement of that too, and that's the way I take it. So my question to you, honey, is didn't I? Was it written by you, or you know, kind of give us a little bit of backdrop about this?
Well, the music came from Tony Knuckles and AJ Bichette. I have a hard time pronouncing his name. Out of Australia.
Okay.
And really, really talented guys. It started out as a track. Well, actually, it started out as a totally different song, actually, and but I loved the music ultimately, and we scratched what was initially there and put myself and Lester Jackson is a partner that I write with here, and immediately when we heard it, we felt the passion in the music, and we decided that we liked that particular track, and we started writing to it, and Didn't I? Came out of it, and it really happened fast, I can say, because it was kind of what it was really quickly. I mean, it wasn't a lot of pondering over it and changing it or anything. It was like everything that came out was supposed to be, and you're kind of hearing it, you know, like it came out. And when we heard it, we knew it, you know, that.
Right.
And it was very simple, you know, and didn't seem like it needed anything. It was what it was. It was just like it kind of came to life, and we went with it. I felt good about it, you know, and the expression and how I sang it, along with writing it, kind of all came together at the same time, you know. Each line was kind of like that, and it was kind of weird because, you know, we spent a few hours writing it, and then by the time we got to the big studio, I mean, it was done. It was done. It's kind of exactly like how it came out, you know, all along the process. There wasn't a lot of, I think we added the chorus in the background last. You know, I could say that was different, but everything else is pretty much exactly how we felt it, lyrically, the feeling, the melody, and you know, and then we went away with the track each and came back with the chorus that came together very, very quickly, really simply, you know. I can't even describe it anymore. It just kind of was organic. It was meant to be, and it just came together. Really, really like the spirit made it come together.
I've always been curious, and Maxine Jones is our guest on Legacy Showcase. Brand new single, Didn't I, is available on iTunes, Google Play as well. Just go ahead and type in, search the names, Maxine Jones, Didn't I, make that purchase now. Let her know how you feel about the song on Twitter, hashtag Maxine Jones, Didn't I, for the rest of the night tonight and going on throughout eternity, hashtagging Didn't I, Maxine Jones, whatever you want to do to go make sure you let this woman know about this single. I'm telling you, I can't stress it enough. And as a songwriter, when you have a group of you know, you have some people to help out when it comes to that as well. How much do you pull from personal experience or just life experience when it comes to relationships, good, bad, or in the middle?
Well, so much. Absolutely everything comes from that, you know. It's hard to write about something you don't have any idea about unless you're singing somebody else's song, you know. That's what I would say. This was certainly this song, I mean, and it was like literally line by line is how this song came together. I mean, from the very top, first verse, you know, and all the ad-libs that I do in the chorus, that was there before the chorus, double chorus background. You know, I tried to love you, I tried to please you. That came later, you know, but all the ad-libs and all that stuff was just automatically there. That's the passion of the music, you know, and that it's very simple. I mean, it's not a complicated song. So, I mean, it didn't take long. But I think that was the thing that made us feel like it was right, was the energy and the passion in it, you know. And so it was what it was. It was a piece of work. And so, and we felt good about it, Lester and I. And it was like, no, you know what, this is it. This is really it. I mean, if we do any more, we're overproducing this piece of work. You know, it doesn't.
Does that happen a lot on some occasions, Maxine, where you're able to pick up not just the music, but also just the vibe of okay, this song is going to be named this song because this is how I feel at this specific time, and it just kind of like lightning in a bottle. Does it happen to a you know, as far as the percentage, does it happen more so on every song, or sometimes you just kind of feel a little something extra on some occasions?
I think you do sometimes, you know, you got to lend yourself to what it is. If it depends on where you are when you're writing it. You know, I think that at this point I didn't feel like I needed to be anything or like anything, or I just needed to do me. I think that was the freedom. I didn't feel any pressure that I had to be like something, and so there was just freedom, you know. And you know, when the piece of work started, it wasn't like it was going to be a single. It was just some music. It was just some great music and putting energy into it. And then by the time we finished it, we really, really felt good about it, you know. And the title came about because of, you know, and I've been working with what we called it, because what we called it, Didn't I, is not really in the chorus of the music. And it's like, why is it Didn't I? But that's really the part of the song that has the power, it's where the pain is. It's where the pain
No, that makes sense.
In
That makes sense. I feel that.
I mean?
I feel that.
Yeah, and so it was like, no, the title of this song is called "Didn't I?" You know, and so, I mean, that's what that is. That's what the song is. The song is what it is, kind of thing. And
yeah, because when I hear it, Max, didn't I? And it's just, a lot of it too. Especially when it comes to relationships. Hopefully, y'all out there that's listening, hopefully we're not gonna get too deep on it though. But didn't I? It could mean for so many different things when it comes to relationships. Just I tried so much and it's just I can't do anymore. But didn't I do all this to be able to set it up so you can be happy at the end of the day? And it seemed like it wasn't enough, but at the same time, what I'm saying, it goes back to didn't I do this? I thought I did it better. I thought I did it right at points and times, and sometimes you can kind of, one thing about this song is it gives you that kind of, I tried, like that effort, that relationship effort, like I gave it my all, but at the same time, it still wasn't enough, and it kind of puts people into a relatable situation too. So, I got to make sure I give you credit for where credit's due when it comes to that. Because I felt it, though. I felt it.
Good. I also feel like it's a song about closure too.
Right.
That's the thing that adds. I want to add to what you said. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yay. Yeah.
No, see, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's like not just that, like exactly, and that's why I love you for this one, though. And to me, it's always, especially with things, how things are nowadays in relationships, and people just kind of seem like they take it for granted. Relationships and marriages and things like that is not what it used to be, or the tradition that carries on. It's good to be able to have relatable situations, and that's one thing that I could say again. One of the things that I love about this song is because it does kind of take you to certain moments. Sometimes you may not want to face those moments, but at the same time, it is relatable, and you can be able to get stronger from those situations to do it. So, I just took off my therapist hat now, so I'm good. Man. I'm good. I was able to just be like, okay, I'm all right.
Yes.
So Maxine, when you're out performing, are you going to perform this song as well?
Absolutely. Oh, yes. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I'm going out and I'm going to sing my heart out. Yes. I'm so excited about being able to do that and just bring this out there. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had to ask because you kind of sung a little bit, and it's just getting ready to see you live next month it's going to be a nice thing, and you singing, you can sing right now. Your voice, it'll move and shake me. I'm just saying, it'll be good. And the people out there that's listening, just make sure that you just check out, all of Maxine's social media information, and if you want her in your town, definitely make sure you go through the proper channels. Make sure you hit up her Facebook page. It has all her booking information, email addresses where you can go ahead and request. And let's talk business and different things like that too. So one question I do have for you, honey, is I feel when it comes to responsibility in writing music, I feel like, and we kind of talked about this last week, but I think that to me, I always feel like there is a part of you who is, at the end of the day, is as long as it's pure, it's driven, it's honest, and it's relatable, I think you should always be able to express yourself. But when it comes to relationships now, like I said earlier, a lot of marriages, people get married, people, to music, people get divorced, in a lot of ways to music. They reminisce and think about certain things like that. Do you feel like it's an actual responsibility for an artist, not just yourself, but in general, to have relatable songs for the public so they can be able to take some memories away with it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what music is all about, is emotions, so emotions and so, I think it comes out automatically. We're humans, and so there's always, because I think I know what you're getting at when you say the writing, writing about, and, I think that we can get really literal today in some of the writing that happens in music. But I think, the artistry comes from being clever, like we did back in the day. You didn't have to be so literal, So, I hope we get back to that, because that's where the poetry and music comes in. And, I can relate. I understand. I think it is important, though.
Yeah, and you're right, and I think too it's we all need, to me it just has to come from a creative place, and I think if not just some people may or may not relate to certain songs. That's just the nature of the business that we're in, or some people just may not understand how relationships work because they may not have been in one, or whatever the case may be.
But absolutely.
But at the same time, I just feel like, to me, creative, if you got creative genes, you're going to have creative genes. You're going to sing it a different way. You're going to perform it a different way. You're going to do it a different way, where somebody is going to be able to say, hey, you know what, even though I didn't experience that, I feel that because it's coming from a place that nobody has actually heard or done before,
Yeah, and also, too, we're humans. Emotions, you can certainly, if the passion is there, a person can even imagine what it's like, and
right.
Like you just said, they can understand. They may not have experienced it, but wow, it's like watching a something on TV. You may not have been in that situation, but wow, you can kind of imagine what it would be like, so. Yeah.
Does it feel a little different just doing stuff solo now? Just, solo music, just, solo tours. Does it feel, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to, try to tap into how you feel, but because I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me, but, doesn't it feel, it's a different kind of feeling, huh?
It's scary. It's a little bit scary because, I've been the last 22 years working with those girls and having, a backup, having someone to share the energy, to entertain the crowd. It's not just on me, it's on all of us to pull together and make this a great show. I feel a little naked without the girls, if you're asking that. Yeah, absolutely. At the same time, though, it's going to make me grow as a musician, so I'm still looking forward to it. I can't wait to get in front of a band, so we can work out this music and vibe off of each other, and I can, I can do the thing that I always loved to do and wanted to be a part of, and that's the music, and so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be scary. It may not be perfect at first, but I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway.
Can I hold your hand while you go through it? Can I hold your hand? I'll hold your hand if you need me to help you get through it. I got you. I got you.
I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm like so happy about it. This is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna do it.
And as a fan, it's like we've had so many, looking back in history when it comes to iconic members of iconic groups that has splintered off to do solo careers. You can go to Supremes with Diana Ross and the rest, and you can go through so many different channels of generations and things like that. And and I know Terry had a solo project, and Dawn had one too as well. And when you look back at just groups, you throw New Edition in there as well. You throw even the Jacksons in there also. And when you just look back at just some of the, not just the legacies that so many groups have had, but also when it comes to solo careers, you might as well throw yourself in there too, Max, because this one, not only will it take flight, but this one's gonna have staying power. It's gonna have staying power. So when and then when that album comes, it's gonna take flight, baby. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
But when you look back at that,
pray.
it's a just keep it real. It's a hell of a journey too, though, because there's a lot of work that does, like you said, take place when it comes to you not just being a part of a group, but you being a part of a group, and now you're doing something on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot. The cool thing is, though, I have the legacy of what I did before, and that's like a push. That's a foundation. Unlike a lot of people who are starting from scratch out here, it has to be hard, but I'm blessed. That's a blessing to be able to have that. At the same time, I mean, I don't feel pressure that I have to live in, some shadow or anything like that. I feel like that I do, though, have to make sure that what I do represents me, because I have to be able to stand behind it, and feel good about it. So that's the cool thing about this particular project and doing it right now, is that I can do it my way. I can do it exactly like that. I don't have a label telling me, once they get my heart and soul, saying to me,
amen to that.
Nah, I don't like it. Go back in there and, I don't need that. I don't want that. That's stifling me. I don't have anybody stifling me, is what I'm trying to say. So
you are your own boss, your own woman. You have your own team, and your team, you don't want a bunch of men and women. Go ahead, honey.
I was saying people around me that love me, basically, and that care about me.
There you go.
And that's like, wow. that's like
you must have.
That's a big, huge part of it.
True.
I'm telling you.
You must have peeked at one of the little notes that I have, because you mentioned something about the people nowadays that's starting from scratch, and I literally had that on a sheet of paper while you were talking before you even said that, because I was going to ask you about just the artist groups today. Like, I know there's groups are non-existent; they don't exist as much and as dominant as it once did in the 90s and before. But first, thank you for reading my notes. And my next question is, how do you I mean, what can you give as far as some solid advice to young groups, young women, young men, people out there that's trying to be able to latch on to this industry, that is finding out the hard way that it can be a really rugged business?
Yeah, it sure can. I think, though, the key, though, is the music itself, staying true to it, being a good musician. You can't, if you're thinking of just jumping out there with a little bit of experience, then you got so much competition out there, and so, I mean, you may as well put yourself in a bucket of the whole planet Earth, There you go. But if you are true to the music, the actual musicianship, and learning and growing as a musician, and that means delving yourself into real music, real musicianship, getting with musicians that really play really good, and studying your craft and exercising your craft and getting out there and doing shows and and performing and getting in different aspects of music, musical theater, all kinds of. I think, because I really think that everything that I experienced before getting into the industry helped me to still be here at this point and have have the success that I had with the girls. I had a diverse musical experience before showing up at those auditions. I had been in musical theater. I sang with the choir. I knew how to sing background. I sang background for many years before. I mean, I had a lot of experience doing that, so it was easy to blend. I knew how to work with a band. I mean, all kinds of stuff, I know a little bit of music theory. I'm not the best at it, but I do know about music theory. I studied voice, and all those things made it so that when I showed up at that audition, I knew how to behave, for one. I knew how to put my art out there. I knew all of it. And it worked. And I got picked, and then it helped me sustain, my position, and so, and I think too, all the stuff I did, just my studying on my own,
right.
And loving great music and listening to great music and studying great music, that helps. All that stuff helps. I think it's harder if, because there's so many people with great voices. I mean, there's
Absolutely.
Great voices all over the place. You got American Idol, you got Idol all over the world. You got folks that can sing.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, you got to do more than that. You really do. You gotta be able to entertain. You have to be a good role model. You got to look good. There's so many things. That's probably least of. I think the musicianship is. If you got the musicianship, you can get in this industry, especially with the way the industry is now.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
You have the talent, you could be out there. You really, really can, and you could get noticed. People want to hear good stuff.
Yep. Because if you are an artist, and if I can listen to your voice, and Max, as gorgeous as you are, sometimes you'll lead me to the point where I'm just closing my eyes, zoning out to your voice, your sound, your talent.
Good.
So
I hope
it can easily be done. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really what matters. The music is good. You can stand there for a while. You don't have 15 minutes. You can sit there longer than 15 minutes. So
when I see you perform next month, I'll make sure I try my best to keep my eyes open, because if you look to your left and you see my eyes closed, you're like, man, is this dude asleep, or like what is he on right now?
No.
Like
I know, it means you're enjoying the music, and that's what I'm there for. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. If you see me on stage, that's what I'm going to be trying to do, is make you feel it. That's the ultimate goal of getting on stage. I think as an artist and touching a fan, that's what you're supposed to do, Even, oh my goodness, absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do. That's
Amen.
the ultimate.
Amen. Yeah. A couple of people in chat rooms as well, they wanted to ask if, now that the single's out, will you have plans on a visual for this song?
We're working on a video. Absolutely. We are working on a video, putting together a treatment for the video, and putting out a video. That's definitely next. So you're definitely going to be seeing some visuals to go with this song.
All right. As long as I'm politicking my help. If you need to, if you need somebody to sweep the floors, or vacuum an office or whatever, just call me. I am here. I'm offering my services, Miss Jones. I am here to help if need be. What about when it comes to your solo work, as far as your project? Will it be something that you are working feverishly to complete as far as an album, or you're just taking your time, letting the music go and flow, and you're not going to be bogged down by a deadline?
Well, our plan is to do an EP at first. We have about 3 songs. We're 3 songs in. We have 3 solid songs waiting for us to get to. So the EP is the focus right now, and that's about 5 or 6 songs. Ultimately, there's going to be a full CD. And, there's a lot of work to be done. We have time. I don't really feel like there's a real... I am feverishly working, but I don't feel like there's a real rush, because we got a single that we're working.
Right.
And so, and I think it's a great single. I think it's a single that's going to sit there for a moment and be worked. And we have another single ready to back it up if we need to. And so when it comes to putting together the full thing really quickly, no. I think it's about making sure to get it right, and I don't feel like I have to rush and do that. I don't want to feel like I have to rush to do that. and I don't feel like I have to rush to do that. I think it's about getting great music, you know, and making sure it's great, you know.
Amen.
So, but an EP definitely is coming really, really soon. We're thinking probably the end of June before it's completely finished. But that, you know, I don't want to tell you that for sure. But we're looking around that time to be completely finished with the EP. And so, but right now, I didn't.
Because Max, I was looking at the calendar. I'm like, ooh, that's like, you know, that's like a month or so away. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
hey,
well, we're
okay,
songs
now.
we're close. You know, we have the songs, like I said. So it's just a matter of getting them recorded and making sure they're great. So it's doable. I think it's doable.
Well, you know what? Any time that it drops, I mean, and like you said, when it comes to this single growing and continue to grow, I think that's going to hold you until projects, videos, you know, performances, things like that. I mean, people are still going to keep checking for you, and I just think it's a good plan. It's a beautiful plan. I'm glad that we can all try and be a part of this plan, and of course, shout out to your management and your team that's out there feverishly helping grow not just the single, but you know, your solo career as well. There's a lot of people asking about Street Team. Is there going to be an official one? Should we just go ahead and call out the fans right now, those who want one? They can come talk to me because I want to be a president of something when it comes to president of Maxine Jones Street Team or something. Like, you know, should I just go ahead and just let the people know they need to come holler at me and let's just organize and get it right? Should we do it? Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Please do that. Please.
Y'all heard it here first, people. You know, official Street Team for Maxine will come globally, not just in one state, but in multiple cities, states, countries, all that good stuff. So, yes, since Maxine has given me the keys to the Street Team, I'm driving this thing, and I'm going to make sure I take it all the way. But before you do that, if you ever talk to me or send me an email, I want to know if you bought Didn't I, which is available on iTunes and Google Play right now, so make sure you go get it. So, you know, got to make sure I throw that out there, people.
Absolutely.
Get it out
there.
there.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel about social media? Just the Google Play, which, you know, a lot of people are always grabbing on the iTunes. Google Play, which is, to me, I feel like a very, very good thing, you know, especially with Google being out here in the Bay Area base, of course, our hometown. How do you feel about just everything social media when it comes to the new way of doing it as opposed to a bunch of CDs and taking it to stores and stuff?
Well, it's great. It's fantastic. There's Google Play, there's Spotify, there's iTunes all over the world. There's all these things all over the world, and so many others. And that just puts your music, because, you know, the single came out on the 15th, and it was, on the 15th, it was in so many other countries on iTunes, you know, and we had people tweeting about it from all over the place. So, you know, and that was like, wow, whoa. Maybe that's something different than the last time.
Right.
I think it's a huge difference to have your music available all over the world. You know, I feel really great about it. It's great. I'm like, and we just got started. I mean, we're a couple of days into the marketing, so. And it's been really, really fantastic. So
God is good. Awesome. I just think that, you know, especially coming out of a situation now where it's necessary now. It's one of those things. I'm an old school guy, so I still love. I mean, you know, me and you, Max, we go way back to, like, you know, tapes. Like, I still have like a couple of EnVouge tapes in my box somewhere in my closet. So. You know, tape CDs, you know, all that stuff's evolved, and, you know, I still feel like, you know, the people that don't really know too much history about those tapes, if you want to go back, let's go back 8 tracks too, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever else you want to call it, it was history. It was music history at that particular time. So, you know, sometimes what I do, and you can co-sign it, or you can understand where I'm coming from. It's like anytime that people do buy anything digital, I always ask, like, did you really know about those tapes and those, some of those, even those CDs are out there just because of, where it was to where it is now. I mean, it's you have access, it's given to you, but also we have to learn how to appreciate our music history too. At the end of the day,
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was a kid, oh my God, we had 40. I could go to the store. We would go to the store, like you were saying, a certain day of the week and get the latest single, and it was vinyl. You know, it was a 45 with the little snap thing in the middle to make it fit on with the needle, and you had to worry about the needle breaking. We'd play Michael Jackson like over and over and ruin the needle and all kinds of stuff, But it was great. We had Soul Train, we had a lot of great stuff, a lot of great stuff we can look back on, and thank God there's a record of it, We can look back on it and just say, wow, I love it. My daughter's sees it now, and she's like, wow, Mom, and I have to tell her, everything that you're doing right now, we did it. We had it better,
It was always one of those things where it puts a smile on my face when I think back, and it's just again, I'm big on history, and I love the fact that we can be able to talk to it. We just have to get more kids to really understand. So I'm glad you and your daughter talk about just a lot of things, not just vinyl
Absolutely.
and tapes and 8-tracks or whatever, just history, music of it, and where, not just where you were, but what was going on before you came in and things like that. It's important for us to be able to teach these kids before they take a lot of this stuff that's easy at their fingertips for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. At the same time, too, I think they're promising. They're in just a different time. It's good that there's a record of that stuff in the past, and hopefully they can bring something and add to it and make it better and preserve it, and I, like you said, I think real music is out there, and people are slowly but surely, getting back to it, and I think it's going to be okay. I have hope.
And with the single like Didn't I, which is available now, you can go pick it up on iTunes, Google Play. I'm feeling pretty comfortable about just some things in general as far as how music is going, how it's really starting to make a slow turn, but it's turning. There is other options you can look for and other ways to show your appreciation as well. So this is just, the first of many, many, many steps of, just getting a lot of traditional feelings when it comes to music again. So a lot of it has to do with you, Max. So,
I hope so. I want to be a contributor. I really do.
Amen. You are definitely. One more question before I let you go, hon. And Maxine Jones is our guest on Legacy Showcase. Again, you can pick up Didn't I, available on iTunes now. Make sure you show some love to her Twitter account. Blow it up all night tonight and this weekend and next week and next month and next year. Do it. Make sure you hashtag Didn't I, Maxine Jones, or Maxine Jones Didn't I, and show that love and let her know how you feel about the music. And I'm gonna ask you a little different question. I'm pretty sure you probably had this throughout your career. When it comes to certain things that you do aside from being a super mom and a super singer, songwriter, etc., what is one thing that you can tell your fan base that you do in your spare time that they may not have known? Like you like to cook, or you like to, do certain things that, maybe your fan base didn't know.
I make black dolls, and I really love doing it. I started it with my sister Patricia, who passed away maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. she was great at it. Oh my God! And we started doing it together, and I kept up the tradition since she's passed, and so I make black dolls. You could probably, if you go to my sister's website, rosehillart.com, you'll see some of the dolls that I've made recently on the front page, and also on my Twitter account as well. I make them in batches, and once they're gone. And it may be a long time before I make them again, because I also sing, of course, and I don't really have the time to do them as much as I want. And there's a lot of work that goes into them, and they're tedious. So that's one of the things that I do. Let's see, what else?
So you learn more and more about you every day. The more I talk to you, I'm telling you.
I guess everything that I do has to do with art, because I like working with my hands. I like creating stuff. So, like sewing, basically like sewing the dolls. I like sewing. I make stuff. If I need something, I make it, like curtains, a new bedspread, little things.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah, I also work with clay. I have a wheel in my house. I have a kiln in my house.
No way.
And every now and then when I get time, I like to sculpt. I like to hand build with clay. I like working with my hands. So
wow.
I don't get to do it very often, but I do it. Yeah.
Wow. That is okay. See, you know what? The more I talk, I'm telling you, Max, the more I talk to you, love more and more things about you every day. Creativity, it doesn't stop, not just musically, but everything else. And I'm pretty sure, not just me, but everybody out there is just, I'm not surprised, because you're a creative woman. So, but at the same time, it's nice to know certain things that you continue to do on a creative side. So, more things to love about you, Max. So,
thank
very
you.
good.
I hope
very
so.
good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me for life. Because it's Team Maxine all day, so it's not one of those just for the moment kind of thing. So, again, people, and also bookmark MaxineJonesEV.com. That website will have all its content and all that good stuff up soon, but you can go ahead and tweet it and Facebook it and all that good stuff. Make sure, again, you go out there, you get the single, you show some love, you tell your friends, family, neighbors, aunties, uncles, all that good stuff. If I can buy it twice, you can buy it twice, because I don't know. I'm like this, Max, before I let you go, and I'm going to just be real. Like, to me, okay, I got it on iTunes last night, and it was cool. But then as soon as I saw somebody say, oh, it's on Google Play, I just went on my phone and got it, too. Like, and only that's 99 cents. It's like, come on, people. Like, it's easy to go and support someone that matters. Maxine Jones matters. So it's an easy thing. So you have to make sure people out there go and get it. Tell her how you feel. She will respond to you. Michelle, who is a big New Edition fan, she's really feeling your single. You're going to see that tweet in a second too. So it's hashtag Didn't Eyes are starting to flood through people. I like that. I definitely do.
I love it.
Definitely do. But thank you. Thank you again. I will see you soon, and actually I will see you sooner than you think, because we have to get this this Team Maxine thing going, and let it be what it is. So, but I just really, again, I've said it when I had you on last week. I will say it again. You are a true blessing, and I am glad to not just have you here, but to have you in my life, and I'm pretty sure other people will feel the same way because of the talents that you've given us, God-given. And I really and truly appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, Charles. It's a blessing and an honor, and it's awesome.
You're awesome, and you're a blessing too. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Just keep staying on that path, and continue to motivate not just me, but everybody else, just by what you do and how you are. We all know nobody's perfect, but at the same time, it's the circle of appreciation and respect for your hard work and just who you are as a person. It's God's will, and God is good. So thank you for being you.
God is good. Thank you so much. much. Thank you. Thank you, Charles, for being you.
We'll talk. I'll see you
Very
soon,
cool.
and you know I'm here if you need me, dear.
Thank you. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. The talented, legendary Maxine Jones right here on the Legacy Showcase. More music and more.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.